Okay, we'll call this meeting in order. Robert, will lead us in pledge? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to welcome everybody tonight for coming to the town board meeting. First item of business is to approve the minutes of the last August 13th board meeting. So we want to make a motion. Second by Brian, second by John, to approve the minutes of the August 13th, subject to correction by the clerk. Any discussion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Okay, next up is the notice of public hearing. I'll ask the clerk to read the notice.
The Town Board of Warrensburg will hold a public hearing on September 10th, 2025 at 7 p.m. at the Town Hall, 3797 Main Street, Warrensburg, for the purpose of hearing public comments on the possible submission of one or more community development block grant applications for 2025 program year. This CDBG program is administered by the New York State Office of Community Renewal and will make available to eligible local governments approximately $17 million for the 2025 program year for housing, economic development, public facilities, public infrastructure, and planning activities with the principal purpose of benefiting low to moderate income persons. The town of Warrensburg is applying for up to $750,000 in CDBG funds to provide townwide housing rehabilitation. The hearing will provide further information about the CDBG program, including progress towards beneficiary goals and program objectives, and will allow for citizens' participation in the development of any proposed grant applications and or provide technical assistance to develop alternate proposals. Comments on the CDBG program or proposed projects will be received at this time. The hearing is being conducted pursuant to section 570.486 subpart 1 of the CFR and in compliance with the requirements of the Housing and Community Development Act of 1974 as amended. The town hall is accessible to persons with disabilities. If special accommodation is needed for persons with disabilities, those with hearing impairments, or those in need of translation from English, those individuals should contact the town clerk's Pamela Lloyd at the 623-4561, at least 3 days in advance of the hearing date to allow for necessary arrangements. Written comments may also be submitted to Pamela Lloyd's email address until September 17th, 2025.
Okay, so we'll open this public hearing. This is on the community block grant application, proposed applications. We've had very, very successful luck with the grants that we've done. We've been able to do at least 3 or 4 houses. I don't know how many we've had on that. 3 or 4?
On the new one?
There were 7.
So,
One unfortunately passed away before the project could be completed. So there's 6 completed projects. One is actually still in progress, so like 5 3/4 completed projects.
yeah. This program has worked very well for us in the town of Warrensburg. Also, in conjunction with this, we did a Main Street grant that is still in progress where the businesses along Main Street. We had a specific target area, and they've been going along pretty well also. And we hopefully, once we complete, maybe next year, we can apply for more Main Street grant to help the business owners along Main Street. So I'll take any questions. Michelle is here for Flattery Reed. They are the ones who write their grants for us and make the application. I can tell you my brief conversation, she feels very good about our chances of winning another grant for the upcoming year. So we'll open it up. Anybody, any questions about this, the grant applications?
I have one question.
Just state your name for the record, please.
Gary Cooper, Lake Ave. You said there were 7 properties,
Yes.
and now we're at 6.
Correct.
Can you tell us what properties you're speaking of?
I actually can't. I'm not supposed to disclose who the people are unless they agree to it. So, I mean, The board can choose to do so if they would like.
I don't know who the properties are. We don't get involved. It's non-political. So the applications are made, submitted to the clerk's office, and they're scored by a team. I couldn't even tell you who have been received these grants in the future. They try to take all the politics out of it. So we don't, try to steer it one way or another. That's what I know about it. Anybody else know anything different?
I can explain a little bit more about it if you like.
No, I wouldn't think it would be political. I don't think politics would be involved in grant money like this. You're saying 7, and now we're down to 6. But is this grant money on Main Street? Is it on 3rd Street? Is it on Lake Avenue? That's all I'm asking.
So the housing rehab grant was scattered sites around the town. I don't think anyone was on Main Street. The Main Street grant assisted properties on Main Street within the target area. But the 6 assisted properties are scattered site around the town. And the 7th property happened, there would have only been 6. Unfortunately, one person passed before their construction would start, and they only got to the point of doing their work scope. So, that's,
Okay.
I'm not sure. I'm sorry. I don't like not being able to answer questions, but I need people's permission to, talk about it in a public setting. We do have, all of the files, and copies of all the files are going to get returned to the town as soon as the project is closed out. And, the town officials have access to the files at any time. So.
Thank you.
I'm one of James Hall. I'm one of the guys who was on the committee to pick these people. The only thing you get is what they need, their income, their name's not on there, their address isn't on there. All it is what they're requesting and what their age is and what their income. And that's all you know, and that's how they pick them. And if you took me out here and stretched me, I couldn't tell you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, we'll close that public hearing. We'll go into the rest of the board meeting, and then we'll come back to new business. Town clerk's report.
August report. Let's see. We have commercial fireworks, $25. Marriage license fees, $87.50. 1 day opium, $25. Clerk fees of faxes, $7. Game of chance additional fees, $33.78. Public health fees, which are certified copies, $170. Landfill fees of $24,825. Punch cards of $140. IPP permits, $1,250. Short-term rentals, $900. Dog licensing fees, $144. Building permits, $423.38. Septic permit of $75, bringing the total local shares remitted to $28,105.66.
Town supervisors report. Total monies on hand, $3,303,487.93. Assessors report.
Assessors report for September, sales review and analysis of properties that have been sold in the past year for the 2026 rolls continues. Verification of arm length sales and filtering out non-arm lengths and or non-applicable sales is a critical part of the process. Along with sales review, we also check the status of new construction properties that have had physical changes, etc. This continues through March 2026, tax bill status date. As reported last month, there were no small claims assessment cases filed in 2025. Respectfully submitted regularly claim order.
Okay, Justice.
For the month of August, Judge Fisk, she had 104 cases, $2,294 in fine, $110 in fee, $1,107 surcharge. Judge Carrillo had 38 cases, $3,424 in fine, $70 in fee, $1,580 surcharge. Total new cases for August was 90, total received in August was 8,585. Town share 7,369.50.
Dog control, the Ag and Markets inspected our ACO's facilities, and we got a report of satisfactory. And just in case people don't know, our animal control officer is Florence Converse. And she's been doing a real good job and pretty busy. Planning department.
Planning, there were 3 septic, 9 land use development permits issued the month of August. There was no planning board meeting due to lack of applications. The zoning board has a meeting, however, of September 9th, yesterday, to review an area variance application for E.J. Harrington, 10-12 Warner Drive off Route 9 for addition in front of the dwelling, 27 feet from the property line where the minimum setback is 35.
Okay. Enforcement.
Notice sent to the owner of 95 River Street regarding a dumpster full of tires and a zoning conflict. Check 20 Ridge Street for any construction activity. Alert Warren County Building Code that the new owner has acquired an LUD permit from the town. Site visited 133 River Street and 1 South Avenue with the town contractor to show about mowing and brush removal. Sent a court appearance to the owner of 15 James Street renting a short term with no permit. Sent a court notice to the owner of 2865 Route 9 property has been warned in the past. Issued 1 commercial powers permit to Ever Lake Lodge. The sheriff was also notified. Issued a short-term rental permit for 4007 Main Street. Set a court appearance to the owner of 102 and 104 Lake Avenue for renting short-term with no permit. Sent a court appearance to the owner of 8 Milton Avenue for the following: expanded the number of bedrooms with no certified septic expansion. No town permit converting the garage into a recreation center, change of use. No engineered statement for the septic of the converted pool shed into an occupancy, renting the converted pool shed short term with no permit. Current permit only covers the house. Received a call from DEC Officer LaPointe regarding the C&D material dumped in a pool at 8 Hudson Street. Material was removed and taken to the landfill. DEC had authority over the situation. Sent a notice to the tenant and the owner of 6 Marion Avenue for property maintenance and persons camping or living in a tent on the property. Called Albany Child Protective Services regard to a complaint. I could not answer all their questions, so it didn't go anywhere. Sent a notice to the owner of 129 Larrabee Avenue for fallen trees, logs left on the property. Notified the sheriff about persons or persons camping along Hackensack Mountain Trail. Notified the fire company of the burn permits. Monitored 30 River Street for short-term rental activity. Replied to concerns of citizens regarding people who appear to be homeless and living on town property. Inspected a septic installed at 83 Library Avenue, took photos and placed the report in the file. Sent a court appearance to the owner of 95 River Street regarding the dumpster full of tires. The owner was warned on August 5th and took no action. Responded to a call from neighbors' trees falling on that property. Advised the owner that it was a civil matter. Responded to a complaint on Warren Street about being littered. Sent a grass notice to the owner of 4 Oregon Avenue. Sent a notice to the owner of 13 Mountain Avenue for garbage cans on the sidewalk and the front of the vehicle protruting into the sidewalk, blocking the public right of way. Sent a warning to the owner of 30 Prospect Street for grass over height and property maintenance. Front door and steps were a mess. Referred a complaint on Rollis Road to DEC and the APA.
Highway.
Prepared by Pete Berdarian. Details for the month of August. We have spent most of our time getting ready to pave the crossroads, which have been completed. 1.5 miles of road were done. We spent we spent other time cleaning out catch basins of sand that accumulated through the summer months. We continue to trim and chip brush in and out of town for road clearance and visibility, along with all of our other regular summer maintenance work. Richard sidewalk and crosswalk have been completed and are being utilized. Respectfully submitted, Pete Berdarian.
Okay, landfill. John?
Yeah, landfill to date, we're in the black by $54,054.99. The place is doing great. I was up there this morning. The boys do a good job, and it's the scales are it's what's doing real well for us to have a make sure everybody's paying what they have to pay.
The historian and beautification, parks and rec and sewer and water reports will be online. And they've had busy times also in all those departments. They've all done a good job. I got no communications for tonight. We're going to recognize the employee of quarter. The employee of the quarter selected this quarter was Patty Corlew, Planning Zoning. Now ask Robert to read the letter.
Yeah, I would like to bring to your attention our fearless leader, Patty Corlew. I have worked with her for over 7 years now. Patty's guidance and unlimited knowledge are just a small piece of the important asset she is to both planning and zoning boards. She always makes sure that we have all the tools we need to make the best decisions for the town and the applicant. While in her office one morning, I observed her on the phone with a town resident. She was able to answer all the questions the resident had and given them a direction to go to achieve their goal. As you know, Patty at times wears many hats. However, that does not stop her from doing a great job of supporting both the planning and zoning boards. Thank you for taking the time to do this.
And on behalf of the town board, we'd like to thank Patty Corlew. I forgot to mention, we did get the crosswalk finally finished for the crossing from Richards Avenue over to Hudson Headwaters. That's been a year in the making. I'm glad that that's finished before the end of September, October. We'll have that parking lot on Richards Avenue will be paved. So is there anybody, did I close the public hearing? I don't think I did. Okay. Does anybody have any other comments for the public hearing? No? Okay, I'll declare the public hearing closed at, what time is it? 7:17. Okay, we have two resolutions. First is authorizing an application for the Housing Improvement Program grants. We feel that applying for grant applications for the Community Development Block Grant, CDBG Mobile Home Replacement, New York State Mobile Home and Manufacturing Home Replacement, and Home Housing Rehabilitation Funding are in the best interest of the town. And I need a motion to go forward with those grant applications. Motion by John. We have a second. Second by Robert. Go ahead with those grant applications. Any discussion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Second one is we need to name a certifying officer as part of the federal grant program. Last time I became the certifying officer, I never really had to get too much involved, so a motion to reappoint the supervisor as the certifying officer. John, second by Brian. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Michelle, thank you. Those two items will be taken care of.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you for coming tonight.
Of course.
All right. All right. Next, we have the following. We have some water rate changes. The water rate changes are 3 residential properties to the senior rate. So that means we'll go from, I have to read it by the quarter. $53.75 a quarter to $17 a quarter. Those 3 places are going for residential to senior. And we have 1 commercial going from commercial to vacant, and part of the property has been shut down. So a motion to approve those 4 rate changes. Motion for Robert, second by Doc. Any further discussion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. It's a total reduction of $185.25. Okay. Next, we as a town board has been presented a proposal to increase all the water rates in the community. The cost of maintenance of the water system continue to rise. I know everybody feels it at home. We also are feeling it here in the community. So I'm gonna cut through the chase and just go to the three rates that will change. The senior rate will go from $68 to $120 per year. The homeowner residential rate, base rate will go from $215 to $240 per year. And the business rate will go from $440 to $480 per year. Now, these are the base rates. And I can't tell you how it will affect each individual because you pay a certain amount for the usage. I just want to highlight some of the things that we've been doing this past year that we feel justified. As you know, we came very close to, we did put in a water ban in place because it's being so dry. Each year, we continue to make improvements to the water system. We use grant monies and we use water district budget funds. One of the things I've said numerous times here at this town board, when people don't pay their water and sewer rents during the year, it has a tendency to make us come up short in what we can accomplish during the year. Now, these rate increases are not due to that. The rate increases are due to the amount of water people are using. We seek grant funding whenever possible. We've had very good luck with grant funding. We've been doing a lot of work around town on grant funding. Two items on next year's agenda are replacing one of the old well houses on Horkin Avenue. Those well houses have been in place long before I became a member of this town board. So we're probably talking 30 years up there. And we haven't really done much. And these are the two old wells on the first parcel before you hit the countryside. And then we're also hoping to do a well installation on the northeast section of town. We've had a consultant go around and look all over town for the best places to locate another well. Obviously, we could put another well in the aquifer up by Countryside Adult Home. It probably would be another good production well. The problem I had with it is all our water comes down Horkin Avenue in one pipe. So if we have a problem with that distribution coming down Horkin Avenue, we pretty much would be hurting unless we get something on this side of town. So we were fortunate. We found a location on this side of town. We're getting permission from the homeowner or the landowner to go on to this. We'll drill a test well. We'll test the water. We'll taste the water. If the water measures up to the quality that we need to, we should be able pretty easily to get a production well put on this property. And that's always been our goal. We tested water at Echo Lake one time, up, and it didn't measure up. We've looked at the water on Library Avenue. If you remember right, we had a well on Library Avenue down by the recreation field. That water was never good. We moved back 200 or 300 feet towards Grandview to see if we could get out of that vein of water. It still was very salty sodium. So we've gotten away from that. Now we feel it's a prime location on the northeast section of town. We're going to move there, try a test well. We did get some grant money to do the application to go search for the best location. So that's been paid for by a grant. This past week, we completed a 4-inch water main on Jenny Joe Loop. Those folks on Jenny Joe Loop were serviced by a 1-inch main. It was okay when probably the few houses were put in, but trying to service what's on Jenny Joe Loop now without a better water main was getting harder and harder. So we put a 4-inch main in there, done by a contractor and done under grant funds. We're doing a similar maintenance job on the Lower James Street. Lower James Street, about the first 3 or 4 houses on Lower James Street are fed by a real old galvanized pipe. So we're going to put a regular main in there and connect it to the main that goes up around James Street, which will give us better flow, will improve the water to these 4 residences on James Street. It's been something It's been on our radar screen for quite a while. Now that we have the contractor in town, he's gonna move down there and do that. So that is part of the reason why we have to, I would like to see us raise the rates. I know I went off topic a little bit, but I don't think the people know how much Parks and Rec and the Water Department are work behind the scenes all the time. They only see them out on breaks. We had a break the other night, Thursday of the fire down on 418. They chased that break from 5 o'clock in the afternoon to they finished up around 3 a.m. in the morning. And it was, ended up being in I think it was an 8-inch line on 418, which goes out and dead ends near the sewer plant. So they do a lot of good work for us. Parks and Rec guys work with them when we have these breaks. So it's time to bite the bullet and raise these rates. That's the way I feel about it. Usage has gone up a little bit too. And I think it's important that we keep moving forward.
And also, I think we're one of the most affordable water rates in Warren County. We have good quality water that, you guys do a good job for the upgrades are must. So all in all, we've got it pretty good.
The cost of the meters that the child has to buy have gone up a lot. The parts that they buy to make the repairs, everything's gone up. It's not the same anymore, so.
So normally I wouldn't open it up, but I'll ask anybody from the audience, does anybody have any comments on us doing raising the rates? It's never popular, but
It's very big.
I got one.
please come up and say your name for the record. Nobody? All right, well, let's vote. The resolution to raise the rates, as they stated, 68 to 120 for single or senior, 215 to 240 for the residential, and 440 to 480 for business.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by John,
I'll second.
second by Brian. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. One other thing I'd like to bring up about the water system. We sell water to the close part of North Caldwell. I call North Caldwell, but right over the bridge. We sell water to Price Chopper, we sell water to McDonald's, we sell water to Campground, and a few other clients over there. One of the things we run into is they're on a dead end line. And there's a dead end line going up Harrington Hill. There's a dead end line going down Main Street. It does finish up like in front of the mobile station. Mobile station is hooked in. What I'd like to do is make a grant application, and would do this work only if we got a grant for this. It would be to loop that pipe on the lower end of town across over to Baker's Crossing into Harrington Hill, and it would give us a good loop and would improve the water flow in this side of town. It makes sense. I will only do it. I need your permission to apply for a grant application through Warren County Planning Department. So I don't know how the board feels about it. Absolutely. So can I have a vote?
Absolutely.
Motion by Josh. Second, Robert? Second to apply for a grant application through Warren County Planning. Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that. The bills on warrant number 9 tonight. We have total bills on the warrant, $399,171.25. Most of it's in the highway to pay for the paving of the crossroads. Crossroads is paved, and that's what the bulk of our warrant will be for tonight. So I made a motion to pay the bills on warrant number 9.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Robert,
Second.
second by John to pay the bills on warrant number 9, a total of $399,171.25. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay. Now I'll open the meeting up to public comment. Anybody from the public wish to comment on any subject, please come up. and talk to the, I just need your name and where you live there. I think I know you.
Mark Murray, 96 Lake Avenue.
Yep.
I have two issues. One is the noise ordinance issue or lack thereof. I had quite to go around with somebody last couple of days. Ended up having to get the sheriffs involved and the state police. And I thought I had it worked out where we could talk to one another, but that blew up. So now that guy can't come to my house and I can't go to his house. So, but the noise was horrendous. And it's not even good music, it's horrible music. So I know that there's issues where the short-term rentals have a curfew time for noise, cut the noise back. I was just hoping that we could come up with something so that there's a recourse, because right now there is absolutely no recourse. And I don't want to do things by taking it into my own hands. I would rather be able to utilize official channels to get those things taken care of. I don't want to start a war with my neighbors, that's not the intent. But some of that noise, and it goes on till very late at night, 1, 2 in the morning sometimes, and it's loud, it's not quiet at all. So that's the one thing, I would like to see a noise ordinance. And I know Bolton has one or something like that. But anyway, I don't know the ins and outs, but I'd like to see something. The other thing that I want to bring up is short-term rentals. I think there's too many. And they're taking over everything. The houses around us, we must have 6 around us now. And as I just heard, one of them didn't even get permit. So, I mean, I think that something should be done to limit the number in the town, because we're running out of houses for people, and somebody shows up with cash and outbids somebody who's trying to get a loan for a house, and that just doesn't seem quite right to me. Those are my 2 issues.
Well, I'll take the noise ordinance. The only way to enforce the noise ordinance is you need to have somebody, an officer, with a meter to measure the noise. That means we would have to hire somebody just to go out on these calls. We've talked about it. They won't hold up in court unless you, that's why I don't think Lake George has one anymore. But you have to have a constable or somebody just hired to go around when there's a noise ordinance. They'd have to go out and get a decibel reading. And I don't see that's feasible for a town our size. I don't know why the police don't help you.
Well, they
with
talk
disturbing
to
the
somebody,
peace.
but then the first thing out of anybody's mouth is, you guys don't have a noise ordinance.
Well, they always say that. That's an easy thing to say.
I get that,
Yeah.
but what's not so easy is to get the noise to stop, and then they go over and talk, the next day, there it is again. And so now I'm having to be the bad guy and call every single time there's an issue.
Well, you would call if we had somebody to go out with a decibel meter.
Yeah, but
Somebody
maybe
would
if
have to
people knew
call.
that something could happen, it wouldn't
Uh-huh.
happen quite so often. I don't know. I'm just saying that,
I understand, there's a cost factor. There's a factor of being able to go to court and have our judges do something about it. And I think that's why we didn't pursue it in the past. We talked about it.
so what are my options?
Huh?
What are my options?
Is it Airbnb that you're having problems with?
No, it's not.
No.
Airbnbs have been
That's what I was
very,
just gonna say, it doesn't
very
make sense.
accommodating. Only every once in a while do you have any issues.
I'm gonna let Jim discuss.
Well, after he called me, I looked up the law, and they can be arrested under section, I think it's 204, I can go get it, for disorderly conduct. They can be arrested by the sheriff or the state police under disorderly conduct for disturbing the neighborhood, for there's numerous reasons that fall under disorderly conduct. So if the police want to arrest them, they can.
I always thought-
Disorderly conduct.
So is anybody gonna tell them that?
Yes, I will send an email to the sheriff tomorrow.
Okay, I
Oh, that's fine,
appreciate that. And then I don't know what can be done about the number of
The number of Airbnbs, we've already had
We've talked
discussion,
that.
we've already had discussion about it, where we have to sit down at a board and determine what amount, we're getting very close to put a limit on how many.
Lake Placid, Luzerne, they've already maxed out, they're cutting off the deadline of about how many permits they want to issue, so.
Yeah, because there's no way to compete with those guys. They roll in here with tons of cash and pretty much bulldoze everybody right out of the way.
But the only thing I will say about the Airbnb folks, they've done a very good job, for the most part. The ones who locally own them have done an excellent maintaining and controlling them.
And I have no issues
The
with
few
that.
complaints we're getting now are from just what you said. People from out of town buying up properties, instituting Airbnbs, they're absentee landlords, and those are the ones we're having problems with.
So
So,
we just lost another house in our neighborhood. And
but you're right, we will do something within the next couple of months. At least by January, we should have a discussion to set a limit on them. A lot of towns are doing that to prevent exactly what you're saying. But I can tell you, when we went, what, 4 years, Jim? 4 years, never had a complaint. Not even from you, Mark, 4 years.
And I would have been happy to make one.
Yes. So 4 years we went. And then all of a sudden, recently, the folks who were purchasing from out of town were starting to have a little issue. Our judges have been good. They've leveled some stiff fines on them, but,
And it's a 3-strike law.
yes.
I bring them into court 3 times and they're all done with their permit, they lose.
Is that a permanent loss or just a part-time loss?
No,
It's permanent, unless the town board reverses my decision, it's done. They can either rent it long-term or sell it.
So
And
those,
they all, I tell every one of them that when I send them the paperwork. I enforce this law to the letter. There's no slack for anybody. I don't care who it is. Local people or somebody from New Jersey.
Okay,
I'm
'cause
an equal opportunity wazoo.
All right, because I've had conversations with a couple of the new ones, the owner, and because I wanted to kind of head off any, late parties and stuff.
we
like
we do base it on trying to get a police report.
Yeah, I don't do he said, she said.
And we don't
If
do
I
that.
have
Well, I don't
somebody complain-
expect you to, but
somebody
I want to
complains
try
to me,
and
I tell
handle
them to
it
call the
as a
police and get a
neighbor
report.
first. I'd like to try and handle it as a neighbor first, rather than get everybody involved. If that doesn't work, then I'm
No.
more than happy to call somebody.
I will get a hold of the sheriff tomorrow and let him know, maybe I'll give you a little lesson in the law. You may
Okay, and
not
like I
accept it.
said, I've had little to no problems with any of the established short-term rentals. Everybody has been very good about keeping it quiet at night. Honestly, the biggest problem we have is people down at that boat launch at 1:00 in the morning. That's about it.
Okay, all right.
All right.
He has a neighbor that's out of control. Period.
I do.
There are drugs in Nexley.
Period. That's what's going on.
You're aware of it?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll look into it. Thank you. Anybody else?
The
Any
state troopers,
subject?
the state troopers were there last night.
Okay.
I saw them. But I was up on checking on somebody else. I want to see what they were doing. The state police were on Karen Street last night.
Okay. All right, we just have to get the reports. Anybody else on any subject? Please.
Sherry Davis,
Yep.
Lake Evan. I know you're saying we can't have an ordinance. The neighbor behind me plays the music all night. Doesn't stop. It can be start at 8, 9 o'clock at night and doesn't stop till 6 or 7 in the morning. I don't know when this man sleeps. Then he starts bonfires. So what am I supposed to do? I call the sheriff. They say they can't do anything.
The dispatcher or the officer?
The officer comes out.
Okay. Well, you should get his badge number, name.
They say, we can't do anything because there's no town ordinance.
That's not true.
That's not true.
So what do? How do I stop this man from playing his.
Have you
music.
spoke to him?
Yes,
I don't recommend you speak to him.
No.
He said, no.
I know that.
Well, we can't anymore.
No, I'm telling you that over the weekend, they just had the car show down there. The same individual was
I know,
down there wreaking
I know.
havoc with all sorts of videos of it.
So I didn't get arrested.
A couple days ago, he's got all the doors open on his truck, playing loud music, and he's running around with a clown mask on. The police are there and they investigate, they talk to him.
And
I don't know why
today
they
he's
keep
running down
talking.
Main
Oh,
Street.
wait.
Yeah, they don't need to keep talking to crazy people. They need to be
But they
checked out
say,
a little
but
bit.
that- where does that leave me?
I understand, Jerry.
You want me to climb over the fence and
No,
beat the crap out of it?
don't go there.
Okay. We'll,
Yeah.
But I will say this.
I'm not gonna go through this anymore.
okay.
Get
I'll
on
take
with
it in
somebody.
my own-
You call the state police? Did the state police?
Yes, we called the state police and the sheriff.
Okay.
Mark's called them, I called
I know that it sounds like you're being, good people don't want to make that call. I understand that.
them. Oh, we
But-
make them.
But
We
you
make
gotta
the
make them,
calls.
you gotta make the police so sick of hearing from you that they'll actually do something about it,
We call every time.
okay?
We'll
Just
find out.
keep doing that. And that's what works with the Airbnb laws too, so.
Okay.
All
But
right.
I did have a state trooper tell me years ago when I had my store on Main Street, it's not illegal to be crazy.
Yeah, really.
That's what a trooper told me when I had a problem with somebody up there.
Well,
But they
turn
can
on the
arrest
news,
them.
turn on the
under
news and you
disorderly
see crazy things one after another, and they're always telling us, if you see something, say something. And people gotta get involved in the community. Well, we have a person in the community that's acting erratic on a daily basis. You know, so it's a mental health issue, or drugs or influence or something of the sort. So,
There's definitely some drugs involved.
Nancy?
yes, of
Sure.
course.
My name's Diane Joinery, 96 Lake Avenue. So in regards to this issue with the noise, this has been going on with this person for quite a while. This isn't new. It's just progressed and gotten worse. And we tried dealing with it by calling the police. At this point, this person is menacing and scary. And I was sanding my front porch the other day, and he actually came onto my property and was accusatory and, and threatening to me. Well, I'm gonna call the cops on you. So we've taken the right routes to address the problem. And then I called again yesterday because he was going after my husband, following me down the road. And there's no recourse. So we're coming to you guys for help, and I'm feeling like we're at a dead end. We're not getting the help we need. And we just want peace. We just want to live in a peaceful neighborhood. So we feel we're in a quandary here. We've done what we've been told to do to call the police, and the police tell us there's no noise ordinance. So it's like, okay, what do we do?
Well, it's like I said, I don't want to be a naysayer. The only way a noise ordinance works is somebody has to be there with a decimal meter. When the noise is going off, you have to get a reading,
Okay.
and you have to get a reading.
Okay, but isn't that separate from what we're talking about though with this?
No, you're asking for a noise ordinance. I'm saying how a noise ordinance would work. You can put a deputy sheriff is not gonna show up with a decimal meter and say, you're over the limit. This is what I'm trying to tell you.
They have,
Huh?
they have,
They have what?
they have.
They have noise meters?
With vacation rentals? Yes.
I don't know
they do.
about vacation rental.
Ah,
I'll find out from the sheriff if we
Okay.
put an order, if he says they will enforce it, if we put an ordinance in place, we'll put an ordinance.
He's
in place.
threatening bodily harm, and then, if it goes to that level, then you got.
He's
I'm not aware of it.
Yes.
I'm afraid. I am locking my doors all the time. I have protection in my house because I'm afraid. And our neighbors are afraid. We have another neighbor who won't even report this because they're afraid of that person. So
retaliation.
what do you recommend we do here? That's what I'm.
We'll try to get you, we'll try to solve it for you. But I'll find out if the police will enforce one, if we put a ordinance in place and say that at 85 decibels, you're violating our noise ordinance. That's usually what goes in industry. At 85 decibels, you have to have hearing protection. if they say they'll enforce it, so be it. We'll see what we can
In the
do.
meantime, with this person, are you recommending we just keep calling the state police
Yes.
over and over and over?
I have another,
And
yes,
what happens is he's listening on a plectrum.
Somebody is.
Somebody's telling him,
Scanner, you know.
when it's being called in, and he takes off. He turns the music off and he leaves. So it's like.
Probably got a scanner.
Yeah, it does.
so if any of you, and I'm just asking you this as being a law-abiding gun owner, has anybody gone and gotten guns? In this day and age, I mean, have you guys gotten your pistol permits all? Have you guys, I mean,
Yes.
you need to protect us. Listen,
We
let's
do.
all look
We
at
got
what
a
happened
pistol
today with
permit.
Charlie Kirk. This is ridiculous.
I know.
Warrensburg is becoming a microcosm of this United States. There's a-holes everywhere. They happen to be your neighbor, okay? This is what's going on nowadays. Unfortunately, we're gonna be coming down to the old west again, and we're gonna have to protect yourselves, and you have to, you know, if the cops are, I know, I have friends that are cops. I'm sorry to say it. They don't do anything about stuff like this, and it's ridiculous. But what they do is they wait for something really bad to happen,
Well, that's.
and
how
then,
it's
and that's, well, unfortunately, that's where we live right now, unfortunately. And if you guys, or anybody in here has not taken the pistol permit or whatever, or gotten it, you should get it. Because there's no way to protect yourself. If no one's gonna be there for you, you gotta protect yourself, and then you take it the way it is.
And
That's the only thing I can say.
and I appreciate that, but I worked in mental health for over 35 years, and I know this person needs hospitalization. And you tell me that, he even told me that he was at the car show
Yeah, so
and had trouble with the
in a little
cops.
while, we're gonna go into executive session on some other matters.
Yeah.
I'll bring the board up to speed on who we're dealing with. I'm gonna have the supervisor reach out to the sheriff and find out how many interactions they've had with this particular individual
I'll keep
recently.
calling.
recently.
Well, I get the list.
So it might be one officer over here and there, but it's,
There's one other issue though, and I know it was brought up to the zoning person, is neighbors of ours down on Karen Street are running a wood business out of their house. And it's all day long with wood splitter.
No, they're not doing it anymore.
Well,
I was there. They're not doing it anymore.
well, they got mad and took down on my husband too.
Well,
So somehow they
I
found
was there
out he
and talked
called.
to him, I was there and talked to him yesterday, and I went by there last night, and I
I'm ready to
told him,
leave the neighborhood.
they're all done.
Thank you.
They're all done. I told them we could do it the easy way or the hard way. They chose the easy way.
can't be done.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else wish to address the board? Please, on any subject.
Hi, my name is Grace Tulo. This is my husband Andrew Short. We live at 13 James. We have two questions. One, we want to know the status of the sewer line coming down James Street. We were told that at one point it was in the plan, and we want to know if that's still the plan and what the expected timeline would be for that.
Yeah, if you're talking to the pipeline people.
13 James.
13 years, yeah.
How old are you again? Young man?
30.
30?
Yeah.
Probably when you're 40, you may go down there. Now, the chances of us expanding the sewer district, we want to expand the sewer district. The only way we can expand the sewer district is through grants. And then when you get in, and then we are on the EFC list to expand the sewer district down Library Avenue. We don't qualify so much for grants. Now, if we broke the law on an everyday basis, dumped raw sewage in the river, did some of the things, we'd be at the top of the list. But just to go out and find money to expand your, a district in that neighborhood, we've talked about it, and I'll check with our town engineers, see if there's feasible to put in a grant. And if there is, we'll certainly, if you signed in, put your name there, we'll make sure we get back to you. In the next 5 years, well, I'm gonna be here for 3 years, maybe 4 years. We'll try to, we'll know something before that, but I'll ask our engineers. It's always been prohibitive. And then a lot of the funding goes based on income eligible in that area. It's a little bit higher income than some of the other areas. We'll check into it.
Yeah, it was definitely hard for upfront cost, but new septic in. when Warren County only provides grants to the Lake George Basin. It
Yes.
doesn't
Yeah.
push up in here at all. So,
Well, there is some, we've got to do with some monies to help out the residential stuff, right?
Yeah, on certain things.
Loves, but, it's, because you're having some trouble at your,
well, the subject that's in there after we purchased the house, we had inspection done.
1949.
Yeah, it said it's out of code and, it needs to be moved to 13 James. Yeah. So yeah,
it's probably a better system than they would install nowadays.
In some ways.
yeah, but just, the upfront cost is, the fact that there's no grant through the county at all for us to apply to that at all.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll get back to
We're
it.
definitely.
I promise next week we'll try to get you an answer. Because I'll talk to our engineers. That's where it's going to start. We can always apply. We may not get funds. Like I said, we've been on the list to go down Library Avenue for quite a while. We thought we had a good reason to do that because the septic systems on the riverside, they eventually seep in to the river. We'll look into it. Okay, we'll get back to you. I won't leave it hanging.
Thank you.
Yes.
The second question I have is, the streetlights were recently modernized, and I wanted to know if there's any plan to put a light guard up or a filter for blue light, because they are now more than twice as bright as they were before, and there's nothing covering the streetlights in front of our house.
It's basically daylight.
And it's affecting our quality of life.
Yeah,
It's a whole different, the white light.
it is completely, it's almost daylight.
We'll talk to National Grid and see
Without
if we can do something different. 13, right? From
13 James, and there's two right
We have two
sides.
streetlights, we're unique on that street, we're the only house with two streetlights
It
in front
brackets
of our
the house.
house.
All right, we'll see what, I'll get a hold of National Grid.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Gary Cooper, a few different addresses in town, but I'll do Lake Ave. And I have a few things I need to talk about if you have time. To the gentleman and his wife on James Street, I'm with my third supervisor, and I wanted to get, 30 years ago, 27 years ago, I wanted to get sewer going down Lake Avenue, James Street, before Grandview, into Keys Street. And just to let you know, town supervisor told me, you live in a golden district. You can afford to pump your septic system. Wasn't Mr. Garrity, okay? So therefore, we do have septic on First Avenue, Second, Third, and Fourth. And thank God we do. So good luck in your next 10 years. The next thing I want to talk about to our councilmen on the board is I think we need to watch our language in regards to the characters of the people we live next to, including myself. Mr. Murray, love you guys, it's great. Our streets. What's happening with our Warrensburg Street? Where is our highway superintendent, supervisor? Thank God they fixed the 2 potholes on Lake Ave. That's been there all summer. What are we doing with Lake Avenue, James Street, Sanford, Grandview? I don't know if you guys are driving around, but you really need to drive down because there's water lines going across and they're sinking. And I'm talking Henry Street, Key Street, Woodward. And what the hell's going on with the landfill? I mean, we can't put some used blacktop going up and off that ramp that we have to go on to weigh ourselves. We should be able to do this with the tax dollars we pay in this community. Just saying that one. And I'm talking about our streets. Let's go to Echo Lane. It rains. Echo in Lake Avenue is nothing but a lake at the end. Why have we not tried to fix our trenches that were once there going down Echo? And then it goes onto Jenny Jill, and it just sits there as a puddle. Why is this not being addressed? Why do we not have a highway superintendent or whatever driving through our towns to see where our water is standing, to see if there's something we can do to correct what's happening? Because a lot of this has been happening for a very long period of time, and it's not being addressed.
Where's the drainage now again? The street?
Oh, many, but let's talk about going down
Give me the
Echo.
numbers.
Let's go down Echo Lane. It's a cul-de-sac. And there used to be blacktop gutters along the side, or what do you call them, culverts, directing the water down. They're all ripped out. But, yeah, we've talked about this before, but now the whole year has been hell driving around our back streets of Key Street, Henry Street. I mean, our corners, it's just embarrassing, just to say the least. Property appearance. I know we have somebody driving around and looking at our properties. I am gonna be the first one to sit here and say, I take pride in our properties. I bought a piece of property on Sanford Street. I took the 10-year ugly and turned it into a 60-day beauty. Why are we not addressing the corner of Hudson Street, Lake Avenue, and 3rd Avenue, where there is a 24-hour garage sale? This is normal. Drive up there, take a right on 3rd, and on that corner house, we have a 24-hour garage sale. Why is this not addressed? This place, I understand it could be low income, we can't pick and choose, but I'm telling you, it needs to be addressed. We need to address Key Street, on the corner of Key Street and Lake Avenue. We all know the person. We cannot pick and choose what toys are left on the side of the road. But when you have 4 children and 17,000 toys, it needs to be addressed. And this is the late Marty and Dottie Blazy's home. That needs to be addressed. And let's talk about the wood people. We have the children of the corn. We now have the wood people on Karen Street. I'm going to tell you, at 7 o'clock in the morning, I'm hearing the wood chipper. I know you talked to them yesterday, but he was not here this morning either. They're not running a business out of their house, because if you have a fire pit burning and you have 20 feet of wood, you can sit there and say, I'm burning a fire. And this is where we're at. If we don't take care of I'm going to be nice. If we don't take care of the situation, we're not helping our community. And you need to get off our desks and drive around and see who's not doing what they're supposed to be doing, and have our townspeople that are paid to drive over there and knock on the doors and say, clean it up. They are running the business. Yesterday, they moved 7 truckloads of wood out of that driveway. And guess what? They just got another one. So somebody's got to do something. I'm tired of hearing the wood chipper. I am loud. My neighbors know I can get loud because I entertain. But there's respect at a certain time. So I think that needs to be addressed. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is the Airbnbs. Mr. Murray sat up here and said that, and I totally respect, that there's no noise ordinance. Well, let me tell you something about noise regulations that the town has put on our Airbnbs. Can anybody on the board tell us when we have to be quiet?
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock, quiet time. And when can they start back up? 8 a.m. Okay, these are the rules and regulations that we have to live by with our Airbnbs or vacation rentals. But Gary Cooper can have a party till midnight, 2 o'clock in the morning, because it's my private residence, and so can you. But Airbnbs have been targeted over the years, and they have had the decibel system. They've had that machine. The state troopers that have been called to Jenny Jill, library, Echo, and other residents to say the music and the noise is too loud. We have even been called because children have played in the pool, 96 degrees out. At 10:30 at night, they're in the pool and the kids are having a good time. We have been called on. We have been targeted. And for every person up here on the board today to say there's no ordinance and the state troopers are not running around when Joe calls and says it's too noisy and they don't have this, yes, they do. So there's no reason why the town of Warrensburg cannot have a noise ordinance for the community. There's no reason. You want to spend the money? We hire people all the time. We buy new Chevy trucks and we don't even have a Chevy dealership here. I mean, so we can splurge a little bit and try and find somebody to monitor what's going on in our community to better serve our community. One last thing. We are looking to sell water across the bridge. We are selling water across the bridge. And you're talking about selling commercial water. Do they get the same rates? Not only because you brought it up tonight, now I'm questioning. Do they get the same rates of commercial in Main Street, or is it higher? And are you also looking at selling the water on a commercial dollar amount quarterly to Starbucks that's possibly coming in?
All our out-of-district contracts pay 1.5%, 1.5 times what the base rate is in Warrensburg. They also have to give us an escrow account where the people buy water from across the river or across the bridge. We get a whole year's payment in advance, plus they pay the bill as they go on, and it's billed quarterly. We're not interested in selling. We're interested in selling water because we started doing that long before I took office. That's been going on. The issue is to improve the flows in that part of our Lower Main Street. We've had people in Lower Main Street complain about the flows and this and that. When you go over across and you're selling to bigger users, like say Price Dropper or McDonald's or that, in order to improve the flow would be to stop the dead ends and connect the pipe. That's the only reason why we want to do that. Is there a commercial development? We have not heard from the commercial development Starbucks. They have not approached the town about buying water. The last time we made a change over there, the campground, and they are on meters. The campground pays us, McDonald's pays us, and then when Lake George Plaza come in, we have very good out-of-district contracts with the plaza in those places there. And those were set up whenever they went in.
Okay.
A lot higher rates than a lot higher rates. And I gotta say, very good tenants who always pay their bills on time. And if they don't, we have their money in the bank that we can draw from.
And I do apologize. I have two things. Do we not have a curfew in Warrensburg?
We still have a 10.
Is it enforced?
It would only be enforced by the police department.
Okay, so what time is the curfew?
I think it's 10.
I do believe it's 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Because we have a lot of parents that are failures, I'll say it that way, and the kids are still running around calling people's names and various names at the rec field, across the street from my property, riding bikes, riding all over, flipping me off and everything else, saying, hey, what are you guys doing? And it's just questioning them. But If we have a curfew, how is that enforced from the town of Warrensburg?
Calling the police.
Calling the police.
Yeah, they know we have a curfew. Maybe we got to reinvigorate the officers and remind them that we have a curfew, because I believe that in their patrol cars, they all have all these regulations that we have. But yes, the curfew has never been rescinded. Okay, but you gotta call enforcement.
It takes quite a while for them to get to your house, because I call them, they can go what night.
Anybody else? Nobody?
Want me to get back up?
Sure.
Nothing but me. I got a little more room on this paper. Nobody else? Well, I want to thank everybody. Good lively conversations.
Supervisor, I don't know if.
Oh, yeah, we do have to do
You, have that proposal from ECS.
Yeah. I
Environmental
just-
firm, regarding those,
This is the proposal to test the property up there on
for Route 9 and Art Tennyson.
Art Tennyson.
Property owners of Tennyson.
We just got it.
Maybe,
We just gave it to them.
yes. It just came in late. Yeah, we were discussing an executive session because it's potential litigation. But a proposal's been provided, through a firm the supervisor has found to do some potential testing.
So, it's, could be up to $10,000 if you want to pay it, or not.
I think it was 10,775. they
Yeah,
asked.
I can't find the amount or something. But if you want to do it, that would probably put that to bed, or we could end up in litigation.
I think it's due diligence.
I don't think they'll find anything, in all honesty, and I think once we get the testing company up there, we measured it off the best we could.
10,775.
Is this to do with testing?
Yes, do soil sample.
Yeah, they have to test it, and then they have to send it out to be analyzed.
I bet we need to look at COVID. Are they gonna just test right where the dump goes and cleans up?
The proposal is based upon a rough estimate of the area that is at issue, based upon the information that the town showed in the map.
Just that area.
Yeah. And I think that it specifies also, with the firm recommends taking a few samples from locations outside of that area as a control elsewhere on the property, which makes sense, I think.
So compare it?
Yeah,
Yeah, we have to do it.
yeah, as a control on what's there versus elsewhere. I believe that's what the proposal recommends.
It's not a big area, we measured it off, we did a rough map of it.
Yeah, I mean, that seems like a lot of wood.
Yeah, it's not cheap to do this.
You, if you don't, and you go to court, and they show that, listen, we went on their property, I think we're protecting the town by doing this testing. We went on their property, we shouldn't have done that.
Like, we don't need to get into details.
I know,
because it
but
is-
I'm
it is kind of
saying-
litigation, that, yes, and I don't need to step on it.
This
so supervisor.
$10,000 is money well spent.
I think it's due diligence.
They just need permission to sign this agreement.
I'll make that.
Motion by Brian,
Second.
second by John, any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Okay. That's the last item of business that we need to go into tonight. For the public, we are going to adjourn this meeting, and we are going to have a attorney-client meeting privately with our attorney. I thank you all for coming. 13 James Street, hopefully you got your names on there, and I will go to work tomorrow with our engineers and see what, I want to be realistic. Okay. I won't string you along. Thank you all for coming. Motion
I
to
did
adjourn
what
the meeting.
important.
Got the time?
Gary Cooper tells you that, Mayor State Troopers do not carry emotion. He's full of hot air. I know they don't. Now, the guy with the wood chipper, I was there yesterday morning and I told him to knock it off. He said, okay. Now, if he had, I went by there last night and the trooper was at a friend's house on the hill. And, they weren't doing anything. I'll keep an eye, I'll bring them in the court. Doesn't make any difference to me. If they're doing it, you call me, I'll go nail it. Doesn't make any difference. But they can, the police can arrest them for just so they can. When they tell you they can't do anything,
Somebody else.
because they don't want
Is he the property
it.
owner?
That's my turn. Thank you.
Yeah, is that off?
Jim, we need our code enforcement officer to stay back.
Must be time and a half, right?
Thanks, Jim.